Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel and Coffee Stream episode 427. I hope you are all having a good Friday and are getting ready to have a good weekend. And we are here to just have a good time, read some news, and it looks like we're gonna get a little annoyed today, judging by what I've been looking at in my lineup this morning. So let's get ready for that, shall we? I hope everyone, like I said, is having a good day. Oh look, Twitch is telling me that Xbox is going live. Oh, excuse me. Sorry for the yawn. I hope everyone, like I said, is ready for a good stream. And let's have a sip of coffee and get into it here. I've got Twitter open already, so we don't have to wait for me to do that. Yum, yum, yum. Good coffee. Hello, Wikipedia snippet. Hello, my friend. Good to have you here. Okay, let's switch windows and get into the stories here. There we go. What was I going to say? Yes, I've got, I was streaming last night on Twitch. I will be streaming again tonight on Twitch. Basically, I'm also trying to come up with things to do for my birthday. I do want to do a YouTube thing, and I want to do a Twitch thing, and it will fall on a Tuesday, so my minion, it will fall on a Minions night. So howdy, Gunfox. Good to have you. So yeah, it will fall on a Minions night as well. So I'm trying to figure out what to do for my birthday streams. Maybe I will do one on Monday and one on Tuesday. I don't know. We'll see. Let's go and share this story on the screen. StreamYard. Please take me to the share button, computer. Thank you. Okay. Yes, share screen. That is what I'd like to share. All right, here we go. So we seem to have a copyright story for our first news story here. Let's take a look. Come on, give me the headline. Oh, there we go. All right, here we are. Okay, so this says, Canadians' copyright lawsuit against Disney Pixar over Inside Out gets green light. A Sheridan College graduate alleges Disney ripped off his movie Inside Out about the internal about the internal life of a boy controlled by 5 organs as opposed to emotions, as opposed to 5 emotions. Okay. So let's take a look at this here. And Sheridan College is a college in Ontario. I think it's in London, if I'm not mistaken. I know that's Fanshawe. Where is Sheridan? I know it's an Ontario college. Anyway, that's besides the point. Let's take a listen here.
Damon Portian's statement of claim alleges that Pixar's Joy character, bottom right, is based on his Heart character, bottom left, as both are upbeat and sentimental. Brain, top left, and Fear, top right, are both tightly wound nerdy male characters prone to panic who search through stacks of paper photo by Damon Portian's that. If you were a student of animation at Sheridan College in Oakville, ONT, 20 years ago, you probably saw a 14-minute live-action low-budget student production about the internal life of a boy called Lewis and how his behavior is controlled by 5 organs, each personified as a character: brain, stomach, colon, bladder, and heart.
Colon, not cologne.
Story continues below. It was called Inside Out. You are correct.
Oh, wow. The title was even the same? Oakville, that's what it says. Hey, Costin. You have a ton of news in Discord. Yes, I do.
Heading level 2. Distress scale. Advertisement. You are currently an empty group. Its worldwide gross for Disney was more than $850 million, plus an Oscar, and it was also called Inside Out. Chrome. Likewise, if you were young at heart in 2015, you almost certainly saw a blockbuster movie about the internal life of a girl called Riley and her personified emotions: joy, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust. In a story about memory and moving to a new city, involving the loss of Riley's imaginary friend, Bing Bong, in one of the most devastating animated deaths since Bambi's mother. Its worldwide gross for Disney was more than $850 million, plus an Oscar, and it was also called Inside Out. Whether that coincidence is truly coincidental is at the heart of a long-running intellectual property dispute, in which the student, Damon Portian, has just scored a major win against Disney and its animation studio, Pixar. In short,
Oh, really?
An Ontario court has greenlit his case. Chrome has new against half a dozen Disney subsidiaries, in which a payout of millions of dollars is at stake.
Oh, wow. That's pretty groundbreaking, actually. If he wins this could be huge.
YouTube video. Inside Out, and Dove. Unmute video, button. Sheridan has a reputation as a major source of high-level animation talent. This week, for example, saw the release of a trailer for Link, Turning Red. You are set in an animated Toronto stylized by director Domichi, a Torontonian Sheridan graduate who won an Oscar for her short film. How the once sterling Pixar brand has weakened after a decade of sequels. Chrome has new window. Link, Bao. A meditation on Chinese-Canadian motherly love and a very special dumpling. You are correct. So it is conceivable that a student project at Sheridan was on the radar of some serious American movie makers, as Portian alleges.
I wouldn't doubt that at all. Sheridan is very well known for its film and animation courses. Hello, Selecta Boy. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining me.
Story continues below. Portian's lawsuit asks the court to declare Portian owns copyright for the screenplay, live production, and short film he made up Sheridan, and that the defendants infringed his copyright with the blockbuster movie. It seeks an injunction, financial damages, and for Portian's name to be added to the movie credits. You are currently on a text element. YouTube video. Inside Out, and Dove. Unmute video. Story continues below. A similar lawsuit in California was voluntarily dismissed in 2018, 2 months after it was filed at the same time as the Ontario one. According to court records there, you are currently on a... His claim describes similarities in the plot, even down to minor details like eating cereal from a yellow carton, a teacher asking a question that puts the protagonist on the spot, eating lunch alone, and getting a kiss from mother at night. You are Both movies even include a mock commercial that highlights advertising's power over this 5-person control room.
Wow. That's pretty blatant. Like, if he can prove this, that is pretty blatant theft. Like, even for Disney.
Both films have breakfast scenes featuring yellow cereal boxes, photo by Damon Portian/Disney/court document. These similarities extend from the title to overarching themes to minute and specific details, none of which can be the result of coincidence, reads Portian's statement of claim.
You know, the more that I read this story, the more I'm inclined to agree with him. Because this is, like, it feels like they've just changed emotion or organs to emotion, and then and change the protagonist to a female, and then ran the movie. That's, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's weird. It's mostly cloudy here too. We're expecting rain What is it here? What are we expecting? We are expecting 23 degrees, so like 82 degrees, like 80 degrees, I think, something like that. And mostly cloudy, mostly cloudy. Yeah, it's overcast. It's very overcast here. Addie! Hello, sir!
His legal documents include a chart making the case that Pixar's joy character is based on Portia's heart, as both are upbeat and sentimental. Brain and fear are both tightly wounded male characters prone to panic. Stomach and anger are irritable, impulsive and self-centered. Colon and disgust protect the protagonist's health, and bladder and sadness both feel ignored and of diminished importance. In large eyewear that obscures their faces. For sadness it is glasses, for bladder a scuba mask. Your story continues. It is clear that the infringing work, the Pixar movie, reproduces the inventive and central concept at the heart of the original works. The behavior and actions of the main external character, a school-age child, are controlled by 5 internal characters who work together and struggle against one another to help the external character navigate his or her daily life, reads the statement of claim.
Yeah? That's basically the premise of Disney's movie, is that the emotions help the child to figure things out. And it seems that this short film does the same thing with the organs. This really does seem like it's been infringed on.
It is not always straightforward suing a foreign business in a Canadian court. Much of the legal argument turns on whether the business has a strong connection to the province in question. You are currently...
That's true.
Portia's lawsuit initially named the Walt Disney Company, Walt Disney Pictures, Pixar, Disney Enterprises, Disney Shopping, Walt Disney Studios Home Entertainment, Disney Consumer Products and Interactive Media, Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures, and American Broadcasting Company, which distributes Pixar films on television.
God damn.
Story continues below. Heading level 2.
That's a lot of people.
Heading... Link.
That's a lot of companies to sue.
Previous item in carrot. Link. Previous item in carrot. Next item in... Disney initially pleaded that only Disney Shopping had ever directly done business in Ontario, and said Ontario has no jurisdiction over the others. A 2019 ruling found Ontario did in fact have jurisdiction over Pixar and Walt Disney Pictures, which produced the movie partly to offer it for viewing to Ontario moviegoers, and also Disney Shopping, but not the others. You are
Okay,
on a
so
text element.
Disney Pictures... Wait, which ones?
A 2019 ruling found Ontario did in fact have jurisdiction over Pixar and Walt Disney Pictures.
Pixar and Walt Disney Pictures and Disney Shopping. Okay.
This new decision is Portia's successful appeal of that decision. Ontario's divisional court identified errors in that 2019 ruling. These include failing to analyze what it meant to carry on business in Ontario in light of previous decisions on the issue, and failing to properly explain why Portia had a good arguable case based both on his claim and on the evidence of the parties. Your current story continues.
Yeah, because technically, if your movie sells in Ontario that you created as Walt Disney or Pixar, you are doing business in Ontario. So Ontario could have jurisdiction over you. There was one person on the stream whose voice sounded like a text-to-speech voice. Oh, really? That's weird. Hey, Maddie. We heard about Cuba.
By different reasoning, Ontario's divisional court also found Ontario has jurisdiction over Pixar and Walt Disney Pictures, but also Disney Enterprises, which owns the Inside Out copyright in Canada, and all the others.
Yeah, because they would be having an interest in creating product, even though it's created by American companies. They would be having a vested interest in creating product that could sell internationally, and by that very basis be doing business in those countries, and could therefore have jurisdiction held over them by those countries. So yeah, I don't know what the other court was thinking.
The only entities excluded from Ontario's jurisdiction in this latest ruling were the Walt Disney Corporation, the ultimate parent company of all the Disney properties, and the American Broadcasting Company.
Wow.
Divisional Court Justice Lisa Favreau also ordered the Disney defendants to pay Portian $25,000 in legal costs because he was substantially but not entirely successful on this appeal. No trial is scheduled.
Oh, wow. So they have to pay for at least some of his legal fees because he was substantially successful, but no trial as of yet. Okay.
Link. View on national.
So that's an interesting story. I'm hoping that I can find more on this as it develops, because that is an interesting story. I wonder if Clownfish TV has covered it. There's a YouTube channel. This is another version of Kimba versus Simba. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hey, it's Sky. Hello. If anything, the guy from Sheridan College stole the premise or whatever from his 14-minute film was from a TV show called Herman's Head. Yeah, in the 80s, starring who? Oh, Perry Anderson. Okay. Okay. I did not know that. I didn't know there was such a show. So yeah, I would be very interested to see how this goes. How this carries on. So this next story is an update, like a continuation on the story that Skep and I were reading on Wednesday about Linda O'Leary and the boat crash that I actually read about when it happened back in 2019. And this is about testimony by two OPP officers. I guess they did a simulation of the crash. And this is regarding their testimony about that simulation. So we're going to take a look at this. All right. Oh, thanks, Sky. Hey, Lewin. Harry Anderson was the judge from Night Court. Okay. Gotcha. Yes, happy Friday, Lewin. Okay, let's find the headline for this. Okay. Mendel, so that's the author. Unlit boat involved in O'Leary crash, impossible to see in OPP simulation. And so this is written by Michelle Mendel and published yesterday. So this is the screenshot of the security video of Linda driving the boat. So let's take a look at this article.
The police knew it was there. The experiment had been carefully planned. You are currently on a story continues below. Third-party ad content. Frame 0. End of. Chrome has new window. And still, with its lights off in the middle of Lake Joseph, the Super Aeronautique was virtually impossible to see in the blackness of the summer night, so much so that a police boat almost ran into it as well.
Oh,
you are
wow.
currently on a text element. YouTube video. YouTube. End of. You. Almost 2 weeks after the boat driven by Linda O'Leary slammed into the Super Aeronautique, killing 2 of its passengers, the OPP were trying to reenact the collision by experimenting with what they could see when the large wakeboard boat was illuminated by its lights and what they could see when it was not. You are.
Okay, that's fair. That is like to try and recreate for the investigation. They have to do that. That makes sense.
O'Leary insisted the other boat was unlit at the time of the fatal August 24th, 2019 crash that killed American Gary Poltash and Uxbridge mother Susanna Brito. The driver and passengers of the luxury Super Aeronautique, who had been out stargazing on the Muskoka Lake, told police that wasn't the case. You are currently on a text.
Well, if you're stargazing, you shouldn't, okay, if you're out stargazing, I am going to believe that your lights were off. Because from what I understand, me being blind, I don't know this for a fact, but from what I understand, you do not want a bunch of light on if you are stargazing, right? You want the lights off so you can look up into the night sky and appreciate all of the nice little twinkling lights up there without giant man-made lights happening. That's just what I understand. I could be wrong, right? I could be very wrong here. Somebody please correct me. But I am very much inclined to believe that if you are out on a boat in the middle of a lake stargazing, you probably aren't having lights on. You should have lights on. If you want to stargaze, you should probably do that somewhere where you don't need lights, so that other people won't hit you. But gotta have navigation lights on after dark. Oh, see, that's what I understand that, which is what I'm saying is that oh my god. Pink Hollow says, laugh my ass off. Gotta love this fucking city. Just saw some 80-year-old Karen riding a rascal scooter, the $5,000 one, riding around the police station with 3 words on it. Cut police budget. Okay.
Story continues below. Third party ad. Frame 2. End of. Third party. Chrome has new window. OPP Constable. Shown a Tarrant was on the OPP Marine Unit vessel, which was simulating the O'Leary speedboat, when he shot the reenactment video at about 10:30 p.m. on September 5th, 2019. The stars were out, but it was still very dark, he recalled. It's very difficult to see. You are... As the video played in the Paris Sound Court, the police harborcraft could be seen heading into darkness, save for 2 bright lights in the distance that were shining from the O'Leary's cottage boathouse. You are currently on a text element. You don't know what hazards are in the water, so we're just taking our time to get there, Tarrant explained. You are currently... Heading level 2. Link, heading level 3. Previous item. Next item in story continues below. Third party ad con. You are currently in the Chrome has end of. Then suddenly, the footage captured the police boat passing so close to the dark Super Aeronautique that he could have reached out and touched it.
Oh wow.
You are currently on it.
That's scary.
My heart still races when I see it, the officer admitted. We came rather close to colliding with that vessel in the dark. You are...
Yeah. I bet. Nav lights are green and red and wouldn't interfere with stargazing. Okay. That is helpful to know.
As a result, the police decided not to continue their simulation, he said, because it was too dangerous. You are...
Yeah.
Yet it was after the reenactment that the officer in charge of the investigation decided to lay charges. You are currently on a text element.
See, because even if their boat, even if the nav lights were off, right? She hit that boat. That boat was anchored, right? Because they were stargazing. They were not moving. She hit that boat hard enough to cause 2 people to die. How fast was she going in the dark that she hit the boat hard enough to cause 2 people to die. You know what I mean? Like, should that boat have had their navigation lights on? Yes. Absolutely, they should have had their navigation lights on. But if you are operating a boat going fast enough to cause people on a stationary boat to be injured to the point where they die almost instantly, okay? How fucking fast were you going in that speedboat? In the dark, right? It's not like it's the middle of the day with the bright sun, right? And you're kicking your boat around the lake as fast as you can, right? It is dark. Okay? Why are you driving that fast? Should have had Anchorage lights on. Oh, absolutely they should have. Absolutely they should have had the, like, I am not saying that the stationary boat doesn't have some fault here. They absolutely should have had their lights on. And if they didn't, they honestly are giving the O'Learys some ammunition for defense. But Linda really should not have been driving her boat that fast in the dark. I still can't emphasize that enough. If you're driving a speedboat fast enough that you cause death to people that are on a stationary object, you're going pretty fucking fast. I'm just saying.
Det. Const. Sean Richardson charged Dr. Richard Rah, the driver of the Air Nautique, with operating a boat without lights, and O'Leary with careless operation of a vessel under the Canada Shipping Act because he felt that even unlit, she should have been able to avoid hitting the other boat. You are...
Yeah. If she had been going slow enough, right? If she had been operating the speedboat at a reasonable speed for the darkness, she very well could have avoided hitting the vessel. And I'm glad that the driver of the stationary vessel was charged with not operating a boat. I'm glad they both had charges laid on them. Because absolutely that is what should have happened.
Story continues. Third party ad content. End of. Chrome has new O'Leary. End of. O'Leary, the wife of a Shark Tank celebrity and millionaire businessman Kevin O'Leary, has pleaded not guilty. If convicted, she faces a maximum $10,000 fine. You are currently on...
That's it? That's all? She killed 2 people!
Rah, who lives in Buffalo, testified he paid his $125 ticket because it was growing too expensive to fight it, but he still maintained the lights were on. If the police themselves believed Rah and his 11 passengers were out in the dark lake without any illumination, it's hard to understand what O'Leary could have done to avoid hitting a virtually invisible object. You are currently on a text element.
Slowed the fuck down? Maybe? Like, even if she had still hit the boat, right? If she had been going at a reasonable speed for the darkness and she still hit the boat, those 2 people those 2 people would still be alive. See, she says she wasn't drinking, but when the police administered a breath test, the breathalyzer registered alcohol, and magically, mysteriously, all of a sudden, when the breathalyzer registered alcohol, oh, somebody gave me a vodka and water after I hit the boat to calm me down. But up until that point, she was like, no, I hadn't been drinking. And then the breathalyzer was like, oh, but you have been drinking. And then magically someone gave her a vodka after the crash. So they have to figure out where or when she had a drink and how much she had. But I still say, if she had been driving slower, even if she had hit the boat, she wouldn't have killed 2 people. Because she would have been going at a speed that, yes, would have caused damage to the boat and very well may have injured some people. But the very momentum and kinetic energy of a slower moving object wouldn't be as bad and as destructive as a speedboat going at top speed. So, yeah, the fact that she's only facing a $10,000 fine, despite the fact that she killed 2 people, and that she was very obviously tearing ass around that lake. Like, and I know Lake Joseph. There's somebody that I don't know calling me. Yeah, I don't know that number. Go away. Anyway, what the hell was I saying? Oh yeah, there's a camp for the blind run by the CNIB up on Lake Joseph. I'm very familiar with Lake Joseph. It is a huge fucking lake. Okay? And it does get very dark out there. So if you are dumb enough to tear ass around that lake at 10:30 at night, or whatever time of night it was dark enough to be noticed, like, it was definitely night. You've got no business hauling ass around the lake. You're not going tubing. You're not water skiing. You don't have people water skiing behind you. It's not full sun where there's plenty of illumination and you can, go at a good clip and still see where you're going. You need to slow the fuck down. And yes, absolutely, the stationary boat should have had its lights on. And if it didn't, that is a huge problem. And as I said earlier, is going to help Linda O'Leary get by with killing 2 people, because their lawyer will harp on that fact. If it can be established that boat's lights were not on, O'Leary's lawyer is going to use that for all it's worth. All it's worth. That lawyer is going to bludgeon that into, either if it's a trial by judge, the judge's head, or a trial by, they're just gonna bludgeon that into the heads of the judge and jury, that the lights were off, like if it's established, that's, yeah. If that lawyer is gonna get her off with negligent homicide, not even manslaughter. CNIB, Canadian National Institute for the Blind.
YouTube video.
That was a great summer camp. I loved that camp. I went there for, I think, 7 years in a row. I went. It was an awesome time to. It was great, great camp. All right. They're actually doing basically make your own holiday week in August. They're doing like 4 different make your own holiday weeks where the blind person can bring their household up with them, and instead of directed programming like usual, it is, basically you pick your activities. But I looked at the prices and holy shitballs, is it expensive? Like, freaking, if I wanted to take Pincolo and the boys up there, it would cost just to get bookings, not the gas and everything, right? Just the booking to go to the camp. It would cost $2,000. Cause it's like $680 per adult, okay? And then it's I think it's like $250 for children 6 to 12 or something like that, and then kids under 5 are free, right? So yeah, it's like $2,000 to. It would be $2,000 for me to take Pincolo and the boys to Lake Joe for the camp. I'm like, no. No, not happening. Okay. Next story. And when I discovered how expensive it was, I saw my dad at the family cottage, and I was like, dude, thank you for like basically being willing to split the cost of going or of sending me to that camp for so many years with Mom. Like, Jesus Christ. That is stupidly, like, you guys rock. That is a big chunk of change. You are correct. It's, but I mean, and it's worth it though. Like, they feed you 3 squares a day, and I mean square meal. Like, you show up there, you get fed. Like, when I was there, it was for breakfast. It was like your choice of like pancakes, eggs, bacon, cereal, toast. Like, all of that would be on the table. And lunches would be like, big vats of baked macaroni and cheese and, grilled cheese sandwiches and, home fry, like it was like actual cooked food. I don't care. We have our own place to go where we can do anything I want and I don't have to worry about rules. Yeah. That's true. But yeah, they make it worth the money, but it is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Okay, so this story's gonna piss me off. 38-year-old Hamilton woman, or wait, 38-year-old woman. Hold on. Where is it? Where's the headline? I lost it. 38-year-old woman arrested after memorial to residential school victims was set on fire. Because, that's fucking necessary, right? That's perfectly, that's, if I'm against people defacing memorials to statues of historical figures, I am also against people defacing memorials to things like this. Okay? It's equally as wrong. Alright? Fucking stop doing this, people. What the fuck? Police say video showed somebody setting fire to commemorative items. Of freaking course. It's Brantford, too. I'm shocked. Fucking Brantford. Degenerates.
Brantford police say someone set fire to items commemorating residential school victims for over 4 hours. Brantford Police Service.
4 hours. 4 hours of burning commemorative items. Why? What is the point? Like, what?
Warning. This story contains details readers may find distressing. You are currently on... Brantford police have arrested a woman after reports that a memorial commemorating Indigenous children who died at residential schools was set on fire.
Jesus Christ.
Police say surveillance footage showed someone arriving at the Woodland Cultural Center, the site of a former residential school, around 10:30 p.m. on Friday. For over 4 hours, the person appeared to set items commemorating the victims on fire. You are currently on a text element.
Why? Okay, first of all, why do it in the first place, right? But for 4 hours? Like, what kind of hatred do you have for people, for dead kids, right? For dead kids. Why would you sustain that much energy for 4 fucking hours? Like, what is how? I can't fathom this. Okay, first of all, this memorial is to commemorate dead kids. Regardless of their ethnicity or their religion or whatever, they're dead kids. And you feel the need to burn the memorial of those kids for 4 hours. Like, any length of time is bad. But, like, why so sustained? Like, holy crap, what is wrong with you?
Advertisement. Children's shoes were placed in front of the Woodland Cultural Center after the remains of an estimated 215 children were detected in. Link. Unmarked graves near the site of a former residential school in Kamloops, BC. You are currently on... Chrome has new window. In May. You are... List 1 item. Do you have... Link. Period. End of list. Other communities have since detected more graves. Most recently, the Penelakut tribe in BC's southern Gulf Islands said it found more than... Link. You are currently on a link. Up link. 160 undocumented and unmarked graves. You are
so we're up to 1,500 kids, and we've only looked at 6 schools. And yet this asshole feels the need to burn a memorial commemorating these dead kids.
In the area of the former Cooper Island residential school. You are correct. Brantford police say they received a tip about a possible suspect on Tuesday. A 38-year-old Brantford woman has been charged with mischief under $5,000. You are correct.
That's it? That's it. I'm thinking she was either off her meds or desperately needs to be on them. Not that it's an excuse, says Lewin. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh, selected boy says all I know is she's lost it. Yeah.
She has been released from custody and will appear in court. You are currently
Released? Oh my god. Okay.
list 1 item. Bullet. End of list. Brantford Police and Six Nations Police Service say they are thanking the public for their help in circulating the surveillance photo on social media. Chrome has new window. Advertisement. Horizontal. This was instrumental in locating and identifying the person believed responsible for this crime. Said a media release. Support is available for anyone affected by the lingering effects of residential schools and those.
That's all they're gonna charge her with is mischief under $5,000. Like, I'm not. I do not throw hate crime around lightly. Like, you guys have watched me long enough to know that I do not throw that term around. This, I would say, is a hate crime. Right? And they're not charging her with that. Okay, why? I do not understand why. Why is it that police are so quick to throw hate crime charges at people when they're not committing hate crimes, and when they are, they're like, misdemeanor. Like, what the fuck? I don't get it. I really don't understand. I really don't get it. Like, when it's not a hate crime, it's a hate crime. Okay? When it is a hate crime, it's either not a hate crime or it's terrorism, but not a hate crime. Right? But it's never just what it is. It's never what it's supposed to be. It's either negated to ridiculous just pithiness, or it's trumped up to be way more than it is. It's never actually just the crime that it should be. You don't understand. Bill Blur is a massive soy boy. That's true. Arson and a hate crime would be appropriate for someone like that 38-year-old. Exactly. She's an adult, for Christ's sake. She should be punished for something like that. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Even if she is mentally unstable. No. You don't, like, you spent 4 hours burning a memorial to dead children. Fuck you for Christmas. You know what I mean? Just go away. Go away and stay there. Okay. We are going to end with a science-y story that I had actually wanted to read on Wednesday and forgot. So we're going to read it now. We are going to read it now. No, I can't stand people like that. I have no idea why they feel the need to do shit like this. Why am I back here? I didn't even click on... Weird. Oh, look, I have the hiccups. Beautiful. I freaking hate that. Hiccups piss me off. I don't know why, But, like, I get viscerally angry when I get the hiccups. It's kind of weird. Like, it's like this irrational rage that happens whenever I get the hiccups. It's kind of strange. I don't quite understand. All right. Where are we here? Alrighty. Let's read this story about NASA and its predictions about the moon. Woo! Okay, here we go. Come on, I want to get to the StreamYard window so I can share the screen. The screen. Okay. Share. Right now. Okay, here we go. So, I found this story on Wednesday morning. And I wanted to read it on Wednesday, but I completely forgot to pull it up. Yeah. Oh, Bill Blair. Yeah. Yeah. He's a piece of crap. Okay, here we go. NASA moon wobble in orbit may lead to record flooding on Earth. Now, this I'm actually more inclined to buy than we're all gonna die because of man-made climate change and we're all gonna die in 10 years. This one I'm more inclined to believe because we all know how essential the moon's orbit is to our tides. And if the moon's orbit gets affected in any way, then quite obviously the oceans will react. So I have an easier time believing this than I do the if we don't stop using every single fossil fuel ever right now, we're all going to die in 10 years. Like, you know what I mean? That hyperbole, I'm just like, shut up. But this, I'm more inclined to go,
Every coast in the U.S. is facing rapidly increasing high tide floods. NASA says this is due to a wobble in the moon's orbit working in tandem with climate change fueled rising. Link, sea levels. Period. Third party ad.
Now, and when it says climate change, do I think climate change is non-existent? Absolutely not. Climate change is absolutely a thing. It's been a thing since before man was a thing, and it will continue to be a thing long after man is gone. Climate changes all the time. Are we speeding it up? Yes. Are we doing the damage? Bill Blair has failed his way off the streets of London and into the top job, sad. Yep. Absolutely right, Asia Research Directorate.
The new study from NASA and the University of Hawaii, published recently in the journal Nature Climate Change, warns that upcoming changes in the moon's orbit could lead to record flooding on Earth in the next decade. Through mapping the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's NOAA sea level rise scenarios, flooding thresholds, and astronomical cycles, researchers found flooding in American coastal cities could be several multiples worse in the 2030s, when the next moon wobble is expected to begin. They expect the flooding to significantly damage infrastructure and link displays communities. You are currently on a link. To click this.
And like I said, this I've got a bit more. I have a bit of an easier time believing this because the moon is directly tied to our ocean's tides.
Period. Complementary. Frame. End of. While the study highlights the dire situation facing coastal cities, the lunar wobble is actually a natural occurrence, first reported in 1728. The moon's orbit is responsible for periods of both higher and lower tides about every 18.6 years, and they aren't dangerous in their own right.
No, it's not, it's not like an automatically dangerous thing. One of these days you're going to die laughing. Who framed Roger Rabbit? That was such a good movie.
In half of the moon's 18.6-year cycle, Earth's regular daily tides are suppressed, high tides are lower than normal, and low tides are higher than normal. You are currently on a text element. Link. NASA explains. Chrome has new window. In the other half of the cycle, tides are amplified. High tides get higher, and low tides get lower. Global sea level rise pushes high tides in only one direction, higher. So half of the 18.6-year lunar cycle counteracts the effect of sea level rise on high tides, and the other half increases the effect.
Okay.
You are currently on, but this time around, scientists are more concerned. With sea level rise due to climate change, the next high tide floods are expected to be more intense and more frequent than ever before, exacerbating already grim predictions.
Yeah, because there is some climate change that is happening. How much of it is man-made is what is up for debate, right? How much of it is natural, just cyclical climate change, and how much of it is forced by us and what we do is the debate. Those that say no, climate change is a myth. No, fuck you.
Complementary. Heading level 3. Link. More. Link. Beep. Link. Link.
Is that it?
End of. Complementary. NOAA reported more than 600 such floods in 2019. Scientists are expecting 3 to 4 times that amount in the mid-2030s, after sea level rise has another decade to progress. Your video, Climate Refugees, NASA, End of. According to the study, these floods will exceed flooding thresholds around the country more often, and can also occur in clusters lasting more than a month, depending on the positions of the moon, Earth, and sun. During certain alignments, floods could happen as frequently as every day or every other day.
Well, that sucks.
Low-lying areas near sea level are increasingly at risk and suffering due to the increased flooding, and it will only get worse, said NASA Administrator Bill Nelson. The combination of the moon's gravitational pull, rising sea levels, and climate change will continue to exacerbate coastal flooding on our coastlines and across the world.
Yeah, like I said, climate change absolutely exists, and if the moon is having this wobble, it's combined with that, it's definitely going to have an effect.
Almost all U.S. mainland coastlines, Hawaii and Guam are expected to face these effects. Link. Sea level rise is already expected to make hundreds of thousands of square miles of coastline uninhabitable and potentially displace over 100 million people worldwide by the end of the century.
Well, that's 100 million people worldwide. That's not that many.
Third-party ad content. Researchers are hoping their findings will lead to more dedicated efforts to prevent as much damage as possible, both to the environment and people's livelihoods, before it's too late. While high tide floods don't involve as large an amount of water as hurricanes, the real danger lies in their frequency.
Yeah.
It's the accumulated effect over time that will have an impact.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the accumulated effect over time that will have an impact, said lead author Phil Thompson. If it floods 10 or 15 times a month, a business can't keep operating with its parking lot underwater. People lose their jobs because they can't get to work. Seeping cesspools become a public health issue.
Yeah, that's true. The frequency of flooding could definitely be a problem. Not the volume of water, but the frequency of water. NOAA sounds like Noah, yeah.
First published on July 13th, 2021/11:04 a.m.
So yeah, that's something that NASA is predicting. And because of the definite, existence of climate change. It could definitely, or it could be a problem. How much of a problem, we may have to wait and see. And hopefully it won't end up being too much of a problem. Because the oceans are a mighty force that we do not fully understand. Let's see here. And on that note, guys, I am going to end here and get something to eat. And I'd like to thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed yourselves, and I hope you are going to have a fantastic weekend. Please come and join me tonight on Twitch at 11 p.m. Eastern. It's Friday night, so we're going to have some fun, some drinks, and we're just going to kick back and Mortal Kombat some people. So come by and hang out. And thank you all for watching the coffee stream. And please come by tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern for the Star Trek stream. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!